of these players for Team 8, I feel like is a playmaker.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they're all good players. Like, for sure, they're all professionals and good at what they do. But, like, specifically just playmakers, I see over there.
I can feel that. Oh, do you think this is going to be VONC's Finn again, like we saw at Summer Championships?
I don't know. I just hope he Ozos.
Maybe. Finn's very different than them, though, because they nerfed pretty heavily the hook. So you can no longer go fishing without a bobber and hope to catch anything. Gotta make sure you're ready.
Finn,
ready, set,
hard
go.
to win. Very different than it was then.
Finn, hard to win. Yeah, that's right.
Look at that grin.
Well, that's why I like the Gwyn.
Put Finn in the bin.
And this is going to end. As we look at the Saw pickup.
Saw.
They actually flickered over to Sky.
Flickered over the sky.
So they went Sky, Flicker, and then they went
Ozoed
Saw,
right over it.
Flicker is actually a word.
Yeah, well,
outside of the hero.
So Saw.
Debatable.
We can't forget. Saw is also a word. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Kroll is
Kroll's
a word.
Lance is a word.
But Kroll. I mean, this on Team 8 has a maybe outside of a Scarf priority, almost that kind of traditional slow rolling EU comp that we used to see here.
I think we should get to the more important matter about names right now before we really get going. Do you have any ideas?
I avoided it because I am drawing a blank on this one.
Oh, okay.
Well, but right now, the teams, they are not drawing a blank. They are going aggressive and looking for a fight already. One kill going over. Status is going to fall as well. But now can BestChuck actually... Emir stopped going for the fight. He actually just started taking the forward camp. I feel like they could have definitely killed KeanuTheNekoa if Emirking had stayed in there. But they are going to settle for 1 kill apiece and a couple of jungle camps stolen away. So I can't think of anything. Do you have anything for teams?
No, I mean, Stona just threw it to the Twitch chat, but
that's
I don't
what
know
I was planning on doing. I was going to say, if you don't have any ideas,
Nope.
we'll leave it open to Twitch chat. So throw us your best team name ideas in the chat, and we'll see if any of those end up sounding good to us.
Appropriate ones, please, and not rude.
Yeah, that's the emphasis. If it's a rude one, we're not going to say it, obviously.
Nope.
So you're kind of just wasting your typing.
Yeah, well, VONC's very, very forward there, and I think the Lance is a great pickup against the Cruel just because it makes it so hard for Cruel to stick on to anyone, especially when you've got someone as aggressive as VONC on that Cruel. You know that he's going to be diving in as much as he wants to.
And well, that's going to be a kill going over to the blue side. I really want to, I wanted to work out something with PONC, but then I don't know how to, work in KeanuTheNekoa into that.
Concy? That's just bad. Never mind.
Yeah.
Just ignore me. Oh, he misses that. Yeah. I was thinking maybe we could have the best teamer or something, but then I was like, I can't work in stasis either, and maybe we should just kind of stop trying to mix them all up together. Ooh, hang on.
It's going to be a tough one, but right now there is going to be a skirmish in the jungle. VONC getting taking a lot of damage. He is playing this Krull, which is a pick we don't really get to see VONC on terribly frequently. Is he going to try and make a play happen? He tries to run around over to Status, but he gets knocked away by a Githian wall and is going to be taken out. Status and Emir able to find that one. Now Keanu is going to be in this 1v3 situation and is going to go down. So nice job here by the blue side, as they are being very aggressive with their jungle plays.
Yeah, they're making it really difficult for VONC, and that's the thing about Cruel's going into Lances, is that, as I was saying before, it makes it so difficult for them to stick onto him. If you're trying to get your Spectral Smites on someone, all you have to do is Githian wall and just hold it there until he has it available, or you have the Impale to stop them chasing. But never mind that, BestChuckNa was being chased by PONtheoriginal, but is going to get away. So I think VONC's going to have a bit of a tough time, actually. Oh, he's going strong to BestChuck.
Yeah, that's one of the things Krull is actually very good at, is getting onto a Saw and taking him down. So he does get that kill, but it was under the turret, so he did end up going down as well. PONtheoriginal going to get impaled there, almost taking out Status, but not quite having enough damage to get that kill before falling himself.
Yeah, we've seen a few Gwens, few Gwens recently. She's not been somebody that we've been seeing terribly much because she is still relatively new. But I think she's definitely someone who could be seeing at Worlds, especially with that recent buff of hers onto her. I think her weapon ratios have been changed a little bit, so definitely more viable in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, absolutely. The Gwen is actually, I know a lot of people have been very big on Gwen. Fuji especially is one of them. I know he's been saying a lot of strong things about the Gwen and has been really enjoying playing that pick himself. So we'll see if Status can get that sort of level of success on this hero.
Yeah, well, if she holds on to the skedaddle, you know, that is basically an inbuilt reflex lock, and if you can just hold on to it, then you should be able to, in theory, dodge the Hellstar and the Forced Accord. But whether or not you can get the timing down for that is another thing. But I'm sure if Status is playing it, he will be just fine. But I am a bit worried about this Saw pick. So we're seeing a Crystal Saw, but Saws have a bit of problems when it comes to their suppressing fires.
Yeah, well, we got a nice big skirmish going on in the lane. That's going to be a quick kill picked up as VONC is able to take down Status with that Spectral Smite. Now there's going to be an Impale not landing, which means Emirking is going to be in a very vulnerable position. But with PONtheoriginal and Keanu, the only two left in the lane, they're not going to be able to find that kill just yet. But another Impale missing. If that keeps happening, then Emirking is not going to be long on this fold. BestChuckNa getting taken down very low as well and dropped with that Helio. Oh, what a shot.
Oh, it gets a stun there onto the Celeste from the Gwen. Keanu's not going to get out of this one, unfortunately.
Most likely not. There's going to be that buckshot bonanza with a little bit of damage, and then of course the boomstick perk for a little bit of extra burst on that shot as well. And Status is able to pick up another kill. Very bloodthirsty game thus far. 8-4 in the first 6 minutes. And VONC, we know he's never one to shy away from a fight. He's going to be just trying to get some damage on. He knows he has to be careful though, because Status does have quite a bit of damage. But with PONtheoriginal coming back up, there's going to be a nice suppressing fire, and the Impale with a Brody run is going to get that kill, and well, there goes PONtheoriginal as well.
That was a beautiful stun coming up from PONtheoriginal, getting all three members there. And I think with Keanu, the only one left, they might not be able to take down the turret, but I think they could at least try and get some damage onto it. But Keanu's doing a really good job of preventing the minions from going under the turrets. Unfortunately, he's going to be taking a lot of health from doing that. So, but I think, he's going to get out. But I think by the time the Celeste gets there, he's just going to be fine. Though no damage will be. Oh, what's happening?
Oh, I just found it. Someone suggested a phenomenal name for Team 8.
What is it?
Cena. That one has to be used. That is absolutely phenomenal. Congratulations, Albatross True One, for recommending the name. Or at least you're the one that I saw recommend it. Maybe someone else did as well. But Cena is gonna be getting themselves a kill there as they collapse onto BestChuckNa's Saw.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a good pushing attempt coming up from the original there. He's got a bit of crystal damage already and has the Frostburn already. So the Frostburn's actually, I think, I like this pickup, especially going in. I think all the members, it prevents them from getting a little bit further away. But Angry Emer's taking a very, very aggressive positioning. I don't necessarily agree with it, because if they just choose to lock him down, they can do so.
They can, but they did not pull it off there. So we've got a name for Team 8. We need one for Team 7 still. As I see everyone has been trying to come up with names for Team 8. That's kind of been like what most of the suggestions I've seen have been. But we'll see. If we can come up with something for Team 7, then we'll be good to go for the rest of this game and game number 2. But we've got Team 7 versus Cena right now. They are going to be moving up back into this lane. A lot of time being spent in the lane by Keanu at this stage of the game. Of course, Finn not having the best of movement speed, so it actually works out quite well for him to just spend a lot of time in the lane.
Yeah, he gets a lot of gold, and if anyone gets too close to this Celeste, he just needs to try and get the Quibble down just a little. Oh, there's the Forced Accord!
Forced Accord's going to pull them in, but it doesn't secure a kill on Cena. Well, VONC is going to get jumped on by that Lance, trying to get that Spectral Smite down for a kill. It's not quite enough damage, but it does keep VONC alive. And now they just kind of have to back out. So that was a lot of fighting, but not a lot of results for Cena. But right now, it is going to be a good push here from BestChuck on this Saw. Can he get any damage on this turret, though? Not really, because those minions are getting cleared out so quickly by Keanu.
Yeah, Keanu's doing a really good job of blocking, but I think with this push, it's less actually now here. I don't know if they're going to get any more damage down to the turrets because Stasis has taken a lot of health, and so's BestChuckNa. They forced the fountain out, and I think the fight they need to look for is just to try and pin down that Celeste. They're doing a really good job of taking down VONC every single time, preventing him from getting onto anyone. But for them to really make a good push, they need to get that Celeste out first. And I don't know how they're going to do it. I need to get that impel down on her, just focus all their energy on her. But right now, it doesn't seem to be that way.
Yeah, it's there's really that big emphasis needs to be put down, like you said. But right now, that's going to be an impale going through. But the stuns connecting. However, their attention is split. Emirking still alive as a result of that. Force the Cord's going to pull in Status. They do finally get that kill way on the back lines, but they also pick up the Gwen, and it's just Saw. VONC's gonna go diving, trying to find this chase,
So deep.
but just doesn't have the movement speed in order to catch up to the roadie running Saw. And so 2 kills going over to Cena, and that's gonna be some damage onto this turret.
Yeah, BestChuckNa is in a very fragile position, especially as that Saw and the slow mobility. Like, that Helio almost got him. I think probably would have been death. So they're not going to get the turret just yet, and I think that's fortunate because PONtheoriginal doesn't have any energy, so can't really get those Helios down. But I think that we just do need to see a bit more focus. Is he running on the spot on your screen?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, how's he doing that?
Someone has apparently installed a treadmill on the fold. King finally gets off that treadmill. Oh, that was pretty great.
That was pretty fun. I was like, is this just me, or how is he doing this? Teach me your ways, Emirking. What did they get the first turret? That's quite good.
All the fun happens during the All-Star weekend.
Gosh, we've seen that earlier. Imagine that came up during the Evil 8.
Well, we would have had a pause almost instantly, I feel, but BestChuck gonna get pulled in, but immediately with the roadie run, he does get stunned up. A kill has come through for Team 7, but now they are gonna be looking to try and turn this back around because a nice from Hell's Heart from VONC was able to make it a 1-for-1 trade.
Yeah, it just seems to me that I can't not remember what I was going to say for the life of me. What was I going to say? Tell me, tasty bacon.
I have no idea. We've got a couple of team name suggestions for Team 7.
Angry Status Chuck. Angry Chasers.
I like Angry Chuck Status, which is I kind of liked best Angry Status.
I like
That's not
Chuck
really
Narris.
a great team name.
I like Chuck Narris.
Chuck Narris?
Yeah, like Chuck Norris, but Chuck Narris. I don't know if that's Chuck Narris or Chuck Narris. I'm gonna say Chuck Narris.
Alright, so we got Cena and Chuck Narris as our 2 team names. Oh, those are phenomenal team names, if I do say so myself.
Yes, absolutely. Well, right now as it stands, we're seeing Status. I don't think he's been using his skedaddle to try and avoid some of the stuns, but the cooldown on it is what, 20 seconds, and there's quite a bit that they can throw at him. Nice dodge, BestChuck.
The things being thrown at them. That was a sword getting thrown, but it doesn't end up connecting. Instead, we've got Angry Hamir coming flying in from the jungle for that impale. A lot of distance is being put between the 2 teams, but the gap has been closed very quickly. Now VONC is trying to do what he can, but he does go down. It is another kill for Status on this Gwen. Weapon Gwen doing some work here, and it will be a triple kill for Gwen. And just like that, Chuck Narris is going to be able to push in and take down this tier 2 turret.
15 breaking point stacks that she had, and I think especially when you've got her against a Finn who is very, very slow, it's really easy just to keep them in range and just build them up very slowly. I think the key point of that fight was that they were able to focus on Celeste first, and by being able to focus on Celeste first, just throwing everything they have at her, that's what they need, because VONC, he doesn't really have very much damage. She's got the heavy steel, but I think the thing with when people are playing against Cruels, they feel like that he's a threat that they need to deal with, and it is true to a certain extent, but he's not an immediate threat, especially if they aren't going that offensive a build.
Yeah, the main thing that Kroll ends up bringing to a fight in this instance is those weakness stacks. Does get that stun onto BestChuck, but the slows are real, and VONC is not able to actually get onto that target after getting the stun. It's going to be a nice impale. Githian Wall from Emir doesn't actually get any stuns, but the fight is going to continue. Status is very, very low. Solar Storm going to come through. The only clip Status did most of the damage to Best Chuck. Chuck's going to get pulled in with that Forced Accord, and there is going to be a kill. The Saw is down, and now VONC is on the hunt for Status, but it looks like they may settle for Emir. Boots being activated. Githian Wall to knock him away. Can they continue this chase? No Forced Accord available, no ults available at all. And they are going to have to, unfortunately, give that one up. So it is one kill in favor of Cena, but that's all they're going to get off of this one.
I think they might even get another kill because they caught Keanu in time, and there's going to be no escape for him because he's a very slow river troll.
Yeah, that's going to be a kill going back the other way. So Chuck Narris able to end up making it a 1-for-1 when all is said and done.
Yeah, I think unfortunately for them was, I think that last fight started off really well for Cena because Celeste, they weren't able to focus on her because of her backline position. And she was just able to deal a lot of damage using her healers onto Status and BestChuckNa. But the problem was, I think Emer is being a major issue for her because he is able to get onto her every single time and just be enough of a harassment. And there was, I think, a Forced Accord coming from Keanu that was meant well, but didn't work out very well for Pawn because it brought them all closer to Celeste, and that ruined the positioning slightly. So they were able to change it up and focus on her.
15-9 is the kill count.
Indeed.
And gold lead little over 2,000 in favor of Chuck Narris, and are going to be looking for another fight here. Cena are in position, dropping some Helios onto Emir from over the wall. Trying to get a little bit of poke damage down. VONC is waiting in the wings, just looking for an opportunity to go in. They are going to start chasing after them now, but not really able to find the engagement that they're looking for, at least not yet.
Yeah, I think, if you think about it, if you look at not Chuck Narris, Cena's comp, they've got so much lockdown, and Chuck Narris, they only have one, and that's coming from the Lance. But they're doing so much better with that Lance than is, and I feel like if we just saw some kind of attempt for them to chain it down, because what we're seeing is VONC is just being the first one to engage. He's running straight at them, but he can't get onto them because there's so much. Because they're great block will come out from BestChuckNa. This could be the push that they're waiting for.
It very well could be. They're going to get a lot of damage down. Angry Emir is kind of on the front lines. The ace is high, comes out, but doesn't connect. BestChuck trying to survive with that suppressing fire, but he does go down. Now VONC is going to be the target, but is somehow still alive. Charges back in. That barrier from the Dead Man's Rush is enough to keep him alive just long enough for them to get the kill onto Emir. And it is just Status left now for Chuck Narris, and he is dangerously close to PONtheoriginal, trying to duke this out,
so
but is not going to get that kill. Was very, very close, but in the end, Cena picks up the ace. And now with that ace buff, minion, the lone minion that was left there, a new wave coming in, but they are going to be able to take down that tier 2 turret after the minions got that tier 1 for them as well.
I think Emirking was a little bit too greedy in that fight. He was very, very low, but try to get up the kill, try to chase the kill on VONC, and I don't think that was the best idea because VONC was running into the back line, and when you're that low against a Krill who can lifesteal, it just doesn't seem the best idea because he stayed alive long enough to get the kill onto him. But if I was him, I would have backed away at that point just to get help Status a little bit more because at that point Status was left alone with very little health, and also perhaps overstayed his welcome a little bit as well, trying to pick up the kill into Celeste, which was not a guarantee there.
Yeah, and you mentioned how Celeste is the primary source of damage here for Cena. It's still very tough to actually get onto PONtheoriginal and try and take him down because of this big front line they have with Keanu and VONC. Meanwhile, because of the Saw and Gwen, like both of those two are fairly squishy. They each have an Aegis in the inventory, but that's not going to do anywhere near enough against a full power Celeste as it hasn't been. Emirking is trying to be this big frontliner for them. Both teams kind of on opposite sides of the fold now from where they normally would want to be. There's going to be another from Hell's Heart connecting. It does not get blocked, and BestChuckNa is going to be eating a lot of damage, but in the middle does block the Forced Accord. VONC trying to get this kill, but he's going to fall. PONtheoriginal, however, did get a kill himself, but it is now the two carries left alive for Chuck Narris, and they have plenty
Nice
of
one.
damage. A double kill going over, and that is going to be an ace, and now they can push in themselves.
That was a beautiful suppressing fire coming up from BestChuckNa there. I wholly believe that PONtheoriginal was going to take down Status, but if it wasn't for that suppressing fire, Status Big would have died, and you picked up the kill there onto PONtheoriginal, and then they were both able to focus their efforts onto the much easier Keanu, who doesn't really have any damage. So that was a really nice fight coming out from them, and it surprised me that even if you look at the comps, I feel that this is one that Narris shouldn't be winning because they only have that one CC, and as we're getting to the later game, it's getting harder and harder for Emirking to land those impales every single time.
Yeah, it's getting more difficult to land the impales, but the damage is ramping up, and that's been really the key, is that with only the one primary damage source for Cena, as long as they survive that initial engagement coming out from VONC and KeanuTheNekoa, they can really turn these fights around. That's exactly what happened. I mean, PONtheoriginal was the last one to go down in that trade, even though he's their main target. They are going to be finding another fight here. It's a lot of damage on the BestChuck. He's doing his best to stay alive. The Solar Storm comes through, doesn't actually get a kill, though. And now VONC is very low, but so is BestChuckNa. BestChuckNa has to run away from this. He's not going to get out. He is going to go down. That's an impale landing onto PONtheoriginal, but 3-on-2. And it looks like Cena is going to be maybe trying to turn this in their favor, but instead it is actually going to be Status finding a kill here. Angry Emir is on the run, but should be going down to these Helios using that combat roll, but it will only delay the inevitable. And now where is Status? Status is still trying to duel out Keanu, but he's going to get stunned by the Quibble, and that will spell his death.
I think that was over. It's just been. I think this is the second time we've seen Stasis do this. It's just staying a little bit long to try and pick up a kill. And I think in that situation, you don't know how healthy PONtheoriginal was, and you don't know where he is, but you know he's alive. And I think if you know that, you should just be backing away at that point, because Keanu does have a lot of armor now. He's got the Atlas Pauldron, so he's not going to be. So Stasis isn't going to be doing quite as much damage as he would like. So I think if you just backed off, that would have prevented the ace. It might not have prevented the Kraken, but would have prevented the ace, which is, I think, very important.
Yeah, if it is going, the ace buff did actually, allow them to then turn around and take the Kraken. It also stopped the minions from being able to push in very effectively in their base. So with that, Kraken unleashed in favor of Cena, making their way down the lane to try and get some more work done. They still need to take this tier 3 turret, but Kraken should be able to do that without any issues. And then we'll see where the fight is going to happen. We almost always get a fight on or around this tier 3 turret. See if that holds true. Forced Accord is going to go out, but it does not connect. Or it gets blocked, at least, I should say. There's going to be the From Hell's Heart. It doesn't get a stun on the BestChuck, and BestChuck is having to run immediately. Solar Storm is going to largely be blocked by Status. And that is very good news, because that was going on a beeline for BestChuck. It is a kill for Cena, though, as they take down Emir. The roamer is out. It is just the 2 carries. They're going to get pulled in now with that significantly lower cooldown on the Forced Accord. They're able to use it multiple times in one fight. There's a kill. Status is going to get popped. And just like that, Cena will take game number 1.
That was a really good game, actually, and I think for the majority of the first game, Cena, it felt like they were struggling a little bit, but I think by the time we got to the end point, what we're seeing is that they weren't able to go into Celeste every single time. The CC just wasn't enough coming out from Narris, and Celeste was just so powerful at this point. And also you have to think about the cooldowns coming out from Finn with the Forced Accord. You can't block every single one, and there was so much CC